Yep, okay.
Okay.
Yep, good.
Alright, you want to get your frequencies in now?
Yeah.
Okay, you have controls.
I have controls.
Okay, put a little bit of collective friction on.
Collective friction on.
Good, and then make
Good.
sure you've got enough power so that you can hold our airspeed.
Yep.
And then go ahead and put the ATIS into the... Put ATIS and tower frequency in. We'll listen to ATIS first, then we'll get on the tower frequency.
ASOS.
Victor, contact SoCal departure 127.3, good day.
127.3, good day, 1 Golf Victor.
So we are frequency change approved, right?
Yep.
1,800. Temperature 19 Celsius. Dew point 17 Celsius. Altimeter 2973. Remarks. Density altitude 800.
Bob Maxwell Memorial Airfield.
Automated weather observation 1625 Zulu. Wind variable at 03. Visibility 10. Sky condition overcast 1,800.
1,800.
Temperature 19 Celsius.
Yep.
Dew
Okay.
point 17
Cool.
Celsius.
And we're going to change the CTAP.
Yep, CTAP for Oceanside.
122 and 72.
Good. And let's get on the CTAP. Good.
Good.
Alright, and you can make a position report that we're 2 miles to the southeast, inbound for left base to runway 25.
What is that traffic helicopter 810, 2 miles southeast. Runway 25 was inside.
That's fine. Inbound to left base for runway 25.
Inbound to west.
Left base.
Left
so
base.
you know how the traffic pattern does
Yeah.
like this rectangle right here?
Yeah, so
we're
left
basically
base.
just going to come straight in to the left base.
Okay.
So we're just telling, it doesn't, like, it's fine. You just tell them we're inbound for runway 25.
Yeah.
That's fine. It doesn't sound like there's a lot of people here today. But if you want to be more specific, you can say we're inbound for the left base, meaning that we'll intercept the left base. We're going to fly straight in from the southeast. We'll jump in the left base straight into the runway.
Okay.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about engine failures. We're not going to do any engine failures. You're not going to do any auto rotations today, but let's talk about them. So, if you have an engine failure, first of all, how do you know if you have an engine failure? What are the signs or the symptoms of an engine failure?
Engine failure like a left yaw.
Left yaw, good.
And vibrations.
Okay. Do you recognize where we are right now, by the way?
What?
Do you recognize where we are? So our left base is like right here, right? Remember this road with the red stripe?
Okay.
And then there's hillsides right here. You can see that little elementary school where we turn final.
Oh yeah.
Good. Okay, yeah, so right. Change in vibration, change in noise, a little bit of a left yaw. Those are all indications of an engine failure. What are some other indications of an engine failure?
Vibrations and sound change from the rotor and engine.
Yep. And then what else? What's going to happen to our RPM?
RPM reduce to below the 7%.
So you might even hear the RPM light and horn if we don't catch it right away, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then what do we do in an engine failure? We can start descending now. And make sure your collective friction's off.
Yep, collective friction's off.
Okay, and now we're just in the left base, so you can make a radio call that we're left base for runway 25.
What is that traffic helicopter 810 and left base runway 25 inside.
Good job, great. So yeah, what are your control inputs to do an auto rotation or if we have an engine failure?
First, lower the collective.
Yep.
And maintain the speed about 65 knots.
Okay. And then keep trim, right?
We have the clutch light.
Just retensioning the clutches. Especially when you're making the first big power changes of the day, often the clutch will need to adjust itself a little bit, so that's normal. All right, let's do a nice normal approach, landing right in between the numbers 2 and 5.
Okay.
So set us up just how you know. Have you flown with anyone else since you flew with me?
What?
Who was your last flight with?
Last flight with Danica.
How did it go?
She reduced a lot of speed.
Okay.
On the threshold.
Cool. Let's see it. Doing normal approaches?
Yep.
Good. How does this feel to you?
Too fast.
Too fast and too low, right?
Yeah.
If we're shooting for the numbers 2.5, we're probably going to touch down with like 30 knots right before 2.5.
Okay.
And part of the reason that we have so much speed, okay, and just ease it into a stop, is because of our wind direction. Look at that windsock.
Yeah, it's about the crosswind.
We have pretty much a direct crosswind, right?
Yep.
So we don't have very much of a headwind component, so our ground speed, our speed across the ground is going to be a lot higher.
Okay.
So we need to control our approach speed a lot more because of that. So
Okay.
that was pretty good though, just we got a little bit too shallow and we were going a little too fast the whole time. So let's just do another normal approach for now and we'll get warmed up.
Yep.
Okay.
Take up.
And depending on how everything goes today, we might do some hover autos as well.
Okay, hover autos.
Alright, keep your heading. Good, there you go. Good, and you can pull off cyclic.
A little bit F cyclic.
Yep, exactly. Nice gentle off cyclic. That was a really good climb out.
Yeah.
That was really good. Let's just Natus again. What was Natus? 127.8?
Yep.
Estimated weather
127.8.
observation 1631 Zulu. Wind 170 at 05. Visibility 10. Sky condition overcast
170.
Yeah.
So, let's see, we have what, runway 25 and we have runway, what is it, 07? So which one is going to be closer to winds from 170? What's 250 minus 170?
250 versus 70.
Minus one. So we take our runway heading of 250,
Yeah.
250, and then subtract our wind direction of 170. What do we get?
170.
250 minus 170.
Ah, yeah, it is 80.
80. Good. So if it's less than 90, then this is going to be our better runway. Does that make sense? So if we were to land on the other runway is heading of 07. So
Yeah.
what's 170 minus 7?
Is 100.
170 minus 7?
Oh, no. Minus 7. It is 163.
Yeah, so our heading is closer to, we'll have more of a headwind component if we're taking runway 25. Does that make sense?
Yep.
How we figure that out? Alright, so engine failure, down collective, right?
Yep.
How fast do we need to be with the down collective when we have engine failures?
As soon as possible.
Very fast, right?
Yeah.
Good. What about when we're doing auto rotations? I'll let you focus on this approach for now. We'll talk about it on the downwind. Alright, let's focus on the approach. Let's get our altitude and our airspeed set up nicely. Know that we're going to need to be slower than we're used to because we don't have any headwind.
Okay.
So our ground speed is going to be really high because we don't have that headwind slowing us down.
Yep.
So we need to be slower than what we're used to. Arrest the descent rate and keep slowing down. Keep slowing down. Keep bringing in that aft cyclic. And we're off to the right a little bit, so let's get some left cyclic as well. Easy, easy. We don't want to hit the ground, right? Especially not at that speed.
Yeah.
Okay. We need to go quite a bit slower. Without the headwind component, we really need to be slow. So
Okay.
let's do it again. Let's get even slower, really controlled. We're like flying in right now, like 3 times as fast as we need to be. So it's really focused on, we shouldn't feel like we need a flare at the end at all. We should be able to just terminate at a hover, basically.
Okay.
All right, nice normal takeoff. And
Nice
because we have
normal
quite a bit of a crosswind, we're going to be really active on the pedals.
Yep.
Good, and you can ease that. Good.
Okay. What is that traffic? Helicopter 810, turning left, crosswind runway 25 on inside.
All right, so if you were to do an auto rotation,
Yep.
what are the control inputs to initiate an auto rotation? How do we do an auto rotation for practice?
Lower the collective
Yep.
and maintain the airspeed 65 knots.
Okay, so, but what do we do with the controls? We just lower the collective and that's it? For a practice auto rotation?
Maybe no.
Okay, so practice auto rotation, we lower the collective, we roll the throttle off.
Yep.
As because we're lowering the collective, we're going to need to add to right pedal. So we go down right,
Yep.
then we close the throttle,
Close the
and
throttle.
then we'll need to increase collective a little bit, because if we leave the collective down, we won't have enough drag through our rotor system and our RPM will spike, and we'll get an overspeed. So we go down, close, right, bump.
Down, close, right.
Down, close, right, bump is the cadence. And bump just means we pull up on the collective just a couple inches to maintain our RPM right in the green.
Okay.
So yeah, just remember that. You can chair fly that, right? Down, right, close, bump.
Yep.
And that's how we enter an auto rotation. Then you're right. Then we're maintaining 60, 65 knots. We're keeping our trim. Just want to stay in trim the whole time.
Uh-huh.
And we're just watching our glide down. We're manipulating the RPM as need be. Ideally, we don't need to do much changes though. Once we're in the auto rotation, ideally we don't need to move the collective too much to correct.
Okay.
All right, let's do a good normal approach, nice and slow this time. And I think because we have such a hard crosswind today, I'm probably not going to demonstrate any auto rotations for you. I just like to have more of a headwind when I'm doing the auto rotation. So you notice how fast we come in with a crosswind without a headwind? The same reason is why we don't want to do auto rotations. We come in really
Okay.
fast. So
Yeah.
all right, you can make your radio call at returning final.
What is that traffic? Helicopter 810, final, runway 25 with inside.
Good. All right, so let's keep in mind the no headwind component today.
Yep,
And
no
let's-
headwind.
Let's make this a really slow,
Yeah.
and controlled approach.
Alright. Slow approach.
We're a little bit low, so let's not get too low, too quick.
Yep.
Good. Maintain that altitude. Okay. So now see how our glide slope's lined up with the top of the trim strings right in between the numbers? Let's just hold that same glide slope.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be too slow, but I just want to maintain control of the aircraft.
Okay.
A little up collective, we're getting a little shallow. See how the numbers are starting to shallow out on us?
Uh-huh.
We'll come a little up collective. Keep enough forward cyclic so we don't lose ETL and fall.
Yep.
Good. Alright, and now we're just going to continue decelerating and continue coming down nice and gently. Keep us going forward though. Uh-oh. See what happens if we don't keep going forward?
Yep.
We lose ETL, right?
Yeah. That's right.
So we don't want to lose ETL until we're a little bit closer to our spot.
Uh-huh.
Because if we lose ETL when we're way back there, then our approach angle, we just fall. And our approach angle, we lose our approach angle. So,
Okay.
all right, for this takeoff, I want you to get in the habit of staying right over the center line. So
Okay.
let's move left and get us right over the center line, just so that we're in good habits. We
Yep.
have the whole runway, so it's not a big deal. Obviously, we can stay off to the right.
Uh-huh.
But just for practice, I want you to stay right over the center line, keep our heading right over the center line, a little bit left, a little more left. There you go. All right, hold us right over the center line on your takeoff.
And
Clear traffic, Skylane 8, Papa Romeo, just west of the dam, 9,500 indication, left downwind, runway 26, 2%.
oops.
Yeah, it's just a little tricky with the crosswind today.
Yeah. Oceanside traffic, helicopter A10, turning left crosswind, runway 25, Oceanside.
You notice what's happening to your nose in your turns?
What?
Your nose is coming up a little bit in your turns, and we're getting low on airspeed as we're making our turns.
Oh, okay.
So just focus on keeping that nose nice and level. And don't notice it as much when you're over here. I think your base turn and your turn final aren't as bad. It's when you're climbing and you're making the turns. You're climbing and then you're slowing down on the turn, and then you're pitching forward, and then you're slowing down on the turn. So just focus on keeping that nose right at the airspeed that you want. And if we're climbing, you know, you can have 55 knots is fine. Just make sure you hold 55 knots as we're turning.
Okay.
Your approaches are looking way better than the other day we flew, though. Did you and Danica come here?
Yeah?
Where did you and Danica go?
Oh, here, Oceanside. Oceanside traffic, helicopter A10, turning left base, runway 25, Oceanside.
Did you happen to notice what the temperature and dew point was today?
18 and 15. 15.
Good. What does it mean when we have a close spread between temperature and dew point?
We have to use the carbon heat.
Yeah, good. Good. Yeah, and do you know why that is?
Because of the icing.
Yeah, when we have a close temperature and dew point.
Big Bear traffic, Skylane 8, Papa Romeo is now on the left downwind for 26, full stop again.
Big Bear traffic. That's kind of crazy. That's a long ways away.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, let's focus on the approach for now. Alright, let's keep up a little bit more speed all the way until we get to our spot, so we don't want to slow down too much too early.
Okay.
So it's just a nice, consistent slowdown. You kind of slowed down right away, and then we just held that airspeed? Good. Alright, let's get over a little bit to the left, and just nice, consistently slow it down, and a little bit of up collective so we don't get too shallow. Good, and now we're slowing down, consistently slowing down, up collective. Good, and keep slowing down, a little left pedal. Keep the collective coming in, left pedal, left pedal. Good, that was much better. That was way better. See how we felt like we were on a more controlled descent? We didn't lose that angle so hard?
Yep.
That was much better, I like that.
Okay.
Alright, you want to try another one? Or do you want to do some hover work?
Hover work, okay.
You want to do some hover work? Okay. Let's sidestep over to the grass field. So get up nice. Let's get enough altitude to get up and over this dirt road. So we'll climb a little bit. We're into a tailwind, so it's a little tricky for the helicopter to climb.
Yeah, it's tailwind.
Yep. Good. And now, let's do a left pedal turn into the wind.
Yep, left pedal turn into wind.
Watching our power setting, we're a little high, right?
Yeah,
Pulled like 24 inches. Alright, so now we're into a headwind. You have controls.
I have control.
And let's see where our power setting is at. That helped us. Yeah, it might just be a little heavy. Let's go fly a couple more patterns. I think we're just a little bit too heavy. We have too much fuel to do too much hover work.
Okay.
Otherwise, we pull too much power. So, take me over to the left into the field. We'll just take off from the field.
Okay, take off from the field.
Yep. Nice and easy, nice and slow, because we are so heavy and we have so much, we're pulling so much power, we want to take everything really slow.
Okay.
I want you to be on top of the pedals. We're going to this end of the field. So more left pedal. I really want our skids to be parallel to the direction we're traveling.
Okay.
There you go. Reason being is if we had an engine failure and we're flying sideways, we would flip the helicopter over.
Okay.
If we're going straight and we have some sort of power failure, the helicopter will just touch down on the skids, we'll slide, it's no big deal. But if we're facing sideways, when we lose power and we hit the ground, we're going to flip the helicopter over sideways.
Okay.
Good. And stop us at the edge of the field.
Yep.
Good. Alright, let's turn around. Either pedal turn. Alright. Oceanside traffic, helicopter 810 on the go, runway 25, Oceanside. Alright, let's do just a normal takeoff along the field.
Normal
So
take off the field.
Start pitching forward. Don't go too aggressively, we're gonna hit the ground, right?
Yep.
There we go, and then we're using that cushion from ELT, and we're just pushing for airspeed, and now we're just slowly releasing pressure to climb out, and now let's get over the runway.
Okay.
Get over the runway and take off.
Okay.
Good.
Runway and take off.
Yep. We don't want to take off over the fences and stuff. Once again, if we were having an engine failure, we'd much rather be over the runway where we can just land on the runway than over a bunch of garbage and bushes and fences and obstacles. Yeah, so we'll fly a few more patterns and burn off a little bit more fuel before we do any more hover work.
I got it.
Cool.
Oceanside traffic, helicopter 810, turning left downwind, runway 25, Oceanside.
All right. What are things you're thinking about when you're thinking about a landing site if you were to have an engine failure? What sort of qualifications are you looking for in a landing site?
Looking for the landing site,
Yeah.
like a field
Okay.
with no obstacles.
Yeah, right. The fewer obstructions, the better.
Uh-huh.
Let's not get distracted. Let's keep flying our traffic pattern. But yeah, right. You're looking for somewhere open, big enough where you can land a helicopter. Ideally, a suitable ground surface.
Uh-huh.
Flat, ideally, right?
Yeah,
Like we wouldn't
flat.
want to land on the side of the mountainside. Another thing that's hard in like a city environment is you see a lot of open spaces and like a lot of streets and stuff that you're like, oh, well, I could probably land a helicopter in the street, but there's power lines everywhere. So power lines are another consideration when we're thinking about landing sites for auto rotation.
Yep.
Another thing that we always want to be thinking about is the direction that the wind is coming from.
Oh, direction of the wind.
Yeah, it's really important for auto rotations that we have a headwind. Because if we have a tailwind, it's really hard to get rid of all of our airspeed, right? Because at the end of an auto rotation, we want to bleed off all of our airspeed with the flare, so when we touch down, we're not moving forward.
Yeah.
So, we want to be aware at all times of which direction our wind is coming from. So we'll kind of work on it as we're flying back towards Palomar once we're done over here, but just being in the habit of always paying attention to our surroundings and always looking for forced landing sites.
Okay.
So like, if we were to have an engine failure right now, where would you go?
I have to go to the field over there.
Yep, we'd probably go to this field. We know wind's coming from the left, so maybe we turn a little bit right and then come back left so that we're lined up into the field.
Yeah.
Because we'd want to watch out for power lines on this side,
Huh?
Always something to think about.
Yeah.
How are you going to get yourself into a headwind and where you're going to go.
Okay, headwind and the field.
Yeah, headwind and where you're going. Those are kind of the most important parts. All right, let's focus on this approach for now, though.
Okay.
Have you learned any steep approaches?
Do you want me to do steep
No,
approach?
let's do a normal approach. Have you learned steep approaches, though?
Yes. We
Oh.
did once.
You and
last
I?
time. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
only once.
All right, let's do another normal, and then if it's normal goes well, we'll do a steep approach.
Okay.
Arrest your descent rate. A little up collective. Move us to the left. Get us over that runway heading. Good. Left pedal. You keep that collective coming in so we don't come down too fast. Slowly raising collective and making sure we don't get into loss of tail rotor effectiveness. Good. That was pretty good.
Yes.
We started to sink a little bit, but then we caught it with up collective. We made it to our spot. Yeah, I don't have many complaints about that. That was pretty good.
Okay.
Let's set up just a little bit of a steeper than normal approach. We're not going to do a super steep approach because we do have a crosswind. We don't have a headwind, which makes it a little bit trickier.
Okay.
But let's set up for a little bit of a steeper approach. So we'll
Okay.
basically do the same setup, but then once we get to like 300 feet,
Yep.
we're just going to level off and keep flying a little bit until we see a steep approach angle come in, and then we'll start our approach.
Okay.
All right, you can take off when you're ready.
Okay. I will take off later.
Okay. Left pedal. Good. We're starting to get a little bit more of a headwind. Winds are starting to shift a little.
Okay. Ocean side traffic, helicopter A10 on left crosswind, runway 25, ocean side. I think there's no traffic
Yeah, it's
in
pretty,
the ocean side.
pretty quiet over here today, huh?
Yeah.
This is Sherman, ILS out of service. Mission contact, advise information Victor. All airport information Victor, time 1547 Zulu weather, wind 160 at 5, visibility 10, ceiling 1800, overcast, temperature 182.
Is still information, Victor.
Yeah, I was just making sure that the ceiling had to change. Looks like it might be raining or something over there.
Uh-huh. Ocean side traffic, helicopter 810, the final runway 25, watch inside.
Alright, so let's level off at 300 feet. There's 300.
Yep,
So
300
let's level off. Steep approach, we want to go slower than a normal approach, right?
Okay.
So let's keep slowing it down. There's 300 feet. And now we're just waiting for a steep approach angle to come in. So really, a steep approach is anything steeper than a normal approach. For us, we're going to say maybe more like the bottom of the trim strings. So,
Bottom of the trim strings.
yeah, so it looks like our spot's more at the bottom of the trim strings now, right?
Yep.
So now we're lowering our collective, and we're just managing our airspeed. Coming down on collective, and we're just managing our airspeed. We don't want a descent rate more than 500 feet per minute, ideally. So you see our descent rate in the left-hand corner in the VSI?
Yep.
Good. Keep that about 500, and we're just feel how it kind of shakes. The helicopter vibrates right here.
Yeah, vibration.
That's ETL. So we're just riding the rumble of ETL. We're bringing our power in early so that we don't have too high of a descent rate. A little more left pedal. Little more left pedal. There you go. Be ahead of that left pedal. And then we're just waiting for our spot to slide right underneath our butt.
Okay.
Feel that?
Yep.
Make sense?
It makes sense.
All right, your turn.
Okay, my turn. And take off.
Let's line up over the center line. Always over the center line. Get us lined up over the center line and then a nice straight takeoff. I want you a little bit more active on the pedals so that our heading doesn't change.
Okay.
There you go. There, good. Good. Nice takeoff. And I'm being really nitpicky about your takeoffs and stuff because you're flying really well. So I'm just trying to like nitpick everything that I can because I want you to just do everything perfect. Because you're flying super well, you're controlling the helicopter pretty easily. So now I'm just working on making sure everything's just right.
Oh yeah, thank you. Watch inside, traffic helicopter 810, turning left crosswind, runway 25, watch inside. A little bit cold today.
Yeah, it is cold today. We could have put the doors on probably. Just hope we don't have to fly through the rain over there. Rain with the doors off is no fun. Airspeed.
Airspeed.
Airspeed. Alright, so let's get lined up with the runway. Let's get to 300 feet and then we'll level off. And I want you to call out when you see our steep approach angle in. But we still got to get down to 300 feet, right?
Okay.
We're pretty high. Slow it down, lower that collective. Alright, well we can can just kind of hold this angle. This is a steep approach angle. So let's just try to hold this angle all the way down to the runway.
Yep.
We're going to overshoot the numbers a little bit. That's okay.
Okay.
Slow it down. Look at our descent rate. Our descent rate's 500 feet per minute, right?
Yep.
So I want you to slow down our airspeed and then arrest it with the collective. Lower left pedal. Good. Keep enough forward airspeed that we don't lose ETL. And keep that, there we go. Now we're slowing down our descent rate. That's good. Just keep it coming in nice and steady. Make sure you have left pedal, left pedal, left pedal, left pedal. Good. All right. Let's try it again. Let's do the setup a little bit better. We were a little bit too high and too fast. So let's try to get down to 300, hold 300 and a nice slower airspeed, and then start a nice controlled steep approach and try to hit our spot.
Okay.
All right. RPM in the green, 1 to stay in the green, no lights, no horns.
Alright, got it.
Good job maintaining airspeed to turns.
Yep.
Alright, pull some carpet when you can. On days like today, when we have a close temperature dew point spread, and it's kind of cold and we have a lot of clouds and stuff, we need to use carpet. So on the downwind, I want you to get used to pulling carpet. And carpet, you don't need to put frictions on. So carpet, because it's right here next to your collective, you shouldn't need to use your friction. So go ahead and pull carpet all the way up.
All the way up.
Yep.
Yep, all the way up.
Good. And then hand back on the collective.
Yep.
So to adjust, to make carburetor heat adjustments, we don't need to turn friction on.
Okay.
Because it's right here and you just reach down right under your collective, right? It's pretty quick, so your hand doesn't leave the collective too much, so your collective setting shouldn't change a whole lot when you're just pulling the carpet.
Oh yeah, I got it.
And then, on days when we're using the carpet, halfway through our approach, especially if we're doing steep approaches and stuff, it requires a little bit more power of the helicopters we're coming down to arrest our descent rate.
Yep.
So, once we're committed to our approach, we should get in the habit of reducing our carpet, pushing carpet back down, because what does carpet do to our performance?
Yeah, it decreases the performance.
Yep, right. So once we're committed to our approach, we'll push carpet down so we have better performance when we're coming into our landing.
Okay.
All right, good. Let's start getting down.
Getting down.
Get a really low collective setting in. Good, that's better. Alright, we can start arresting our descent rate. We're aiming for 300 feet. Good, we can hold 50 knots and 300 feet for now.
Yep.
Alright, line up over runway heading. Good. Alright, and now we'll start slowing down a little bit. Let's hold 300 feet though. Hold 300 feet. Alright, and now we're waiting for our steep approach angle to come in.
Yep, steep approach angle.
Yep, so a little bit left. We're drifting a little bit to the right. Let's get a little left. Alright, that looks like a good steep approach angle. So let's keep our forward airspeed so we don't drop out of the sky. We want to maintain ETL. And now we're just going to start coming down. I'm going to get your carb heat for you. Okay, carb heat's back down. Good.
Okay.
Use that collective to arrest our descent rate, and use the cyclic to judge our speed. So we're going a little fast, we're going to overshoot, so we just slow down a little bit. And we just keep a little left pedal. Good. Little up collective to arrest our descent rate so it doesn't get too high.
Yep.
We just keep enough forward cyclic to keep ourselves moving towards our spot, getting that closure rate, and then we just let our spot slide right underneath our butt and pull into a hover. Cool. That was pretty good.
Yep.
Let's go see how our power's doing, see if we can do some hovering, introduce you to a couple hover autos.
Okay.
Alright, I have controls.
You have controls?
I've got them. Power's doing a little bit better today, or now that we burned some fuel off, I should say.
Uh-huh.
So we'll just Alright, we'll check our spot. We'll do a set down just to make sure our spot's flat. You can feel along on controls now. Come on to the controls with me. Good.
Oh, yep.
We'll set down.
Yes.
We'll just make sure we're in a nice stable spot. So we just bring collective halfway down. We're checking the stability of a location.
Uh-huh.
We bring collective halfway down. Good.
Halfway down?
Halfway down. And then we move the cyclic in a circle.
Yep.
And we go back and forth on the pedals.
Okay.
Feels nice and stable, so this is a good spot.
Nice.
Alright, so now we'll pick up into a hover.
Take them into the hover.
Yep. Alright, and we want to make sure we're in the wind. So a hover auto rotation. Basically what we're doing is we're just going to roll the throttle off. We leave the collective exactly where it is. We very slowly roll the throttle off. So we have to change our grip on the throttle. We do a nice underhand grip like this.
Yep.
So that way we can roll the throttle off. We do a nice underhand grip. We roll the throttle off. As we roll the throttle off, we lose the torque to the main rotor, so we have to push right pedal to correct our yaw, to keep our heading straight. So we
Okay.
do right pedal, and then to correct any drift, we move our cyclic. The helicopter will naturally want to drift to the left, so we'll have to add a little bit of right cyclic. We definitely don't want to drift backwards, so we want to go right and a little bit forward so we don't drift backwards and we don't drift left. And then right before we hit the ground, the helicopter will start to settle. Right before we hit the ground, we pull the collective to cushion our landing. So the cadence for this is close, right pedal, pause, and then pull. Alright, and you're closing the throttle really slowly, like almost as slowly as you possibly can. And for this, we want to be in about a 2 to 3 foot hover. So I'll do the first one, just feel along with me.
Okay.
Alright, hover auto rotation, and 3, 2, 1, close right, pause, pull.
Whoa.
Didn't get enough right pedal. You're fighting me a little bit on the pedals.
Yep.
So let's do another one.
Okay.
And this time, I want your feet really light on the pedals.
Okay.
Really light on the, yeah, that's better. Thank you.
Okay. Wow, it's all of a sudden.
Kind of crazy one, huh?
Yeah, all of a sudden.
Yep. All right. So let's pick up into a hover. Good. Alright, we're into a headwind. Landing spot looks good, skids are clear.
Yep.
Alright, underhand grip on the throttle. And hover, auto rotation. And 3, 2, 1, really slowly pull.
Oh.
That was better.
Yeah, much better.
Good. You want to feel along? Let's feel along with me for one more. We can roll the throttle off even a little bit slower and get that right pedal in a little bit sooner, and it'll make it even easier for us. Alright, and here we go. Slowly. Don't go too fast on the collective pull.
Yeah, slowly.
Good. Pick it up. Good.
Yep.
Alright, and I'm with you. Okay, landing spot looks good, skids are clear, nice underhand grip on the throttle. And hover auto rotation. In 3, 2, 1. Better. We need a little bit more right pedal still, right?
Yeah.
So just a little bit more right pedal. We can roll throttle off maybe a little bit slower. And then we kind of have a tendency to pull the collective a little bit right as we're rolling the throttle off. So let's just leave it where it is, wait, and then pull right at the bottom.
Okay.
So we'll just wait a little bit longer before we pull.
Uh-huh.
All right. Do one more together, and then I'll let you try one.
All right.
Will you push the car seat down?
Pushing down.
Yep, just so we have a little bit more performance. Careful of the yaw when we're picking up. I want you to keep your heading when you're doing pickups.
Okay.
Hold your heading right where it is. Once we're into a hover, then we can change our heading.
All right.
All right, let's get just a little bit lower. All right.
Lower.
Underhand grip on the throttle.
Yep. Under grip.
And hover auto rotation. And 3, 2, 1. Pause. Good. Started to get a little bit of a drift to the left, right? Right off the bat. As we rolled the throttle off, we started to drift to the left. Then we caught it and landed nice and flat.
Okay.
But we kept our heading really straight. That was a good one. All right, your turn.
Okay, my turn.
I'm going to be with you just so that we don't crash.
Uh-huh.
But you're going to be the one doing it.
Nice and slowly. Step.
And the key to this one is rolling the throttle off really slowly and making sure you get enough right pedal in. And count it down before you do it. Okay, hover auto rotation and 3, 2, 1, and then do it.
Okay. I count down when I'm ready.
Yep.
All right. Hover auto rotation in 3, 2, 1.
Not bad. You tried to pull collective right away. As soon as you rolled off, you tried to pull the collective up. We need to wait so that we have the rotor inertia at the end.
Okay.
Our heading got a little off. You close the throttle just a little quickly. So we can roll the throttle off really slow.
Okay. Really.
Yep, just a little bit slower on the throttle. And don't resist the temptation to pull the collective right away. Wait until our skids are just a few inches off the ground, and then we pull the collective.
Okay. So you mean I have to wait a little bit more?
Before you pull the collective up.
Okay.
So you roll the throttle off, you just leave the collective where it is, roll the throttle off, right pedal, and then right before you touch the ground, then you pull the collective. And you pull it kind of quickly, right?
Yeah.
But you want to wait until right before we touch the ground, because what happens is as we pull the collective, we're using all the pitch in the rotor blades. The engine isn't turning the blades anymore, so we're using it to just cushion the landing. If we pull it too early, we use all the inertia up in the blades, and then we don't have anything left to cushion our landing. We just fall straight down to the ground.
Yeah.
If we wait a little bit longer and then pull at the bottom, we can use that inertia.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
Okay. One more.
Watch the yaw when we're picking up.
Okay.
All right, this is a good height. Nice under grip on the throttle.
Yeah.
Get us
Nice under grip.
into the wind. Good.
Yep.
A little bit more left pedal to get us into the wind. There we go. A little high. Let's come down a little bit. Okay, that's better. And we're ready when you are.
The hover auto in 3, 2, 1. Oh my god.
Okay, so you really just ripped the throttle closed, right?
Yeah.
We got to go a lot slower, and you pushed left cyclic right as you did it, so we lurched over to the left, didn't have enough right pedal. The main problem was you took the throttle and you just went wham, you just chopped it. So feel along with me on this one and feel how slowly we do the throttle.
Okay.
You want to be really slow with it.
Okay.
Like almost painfully slow. Like when I was learning this, I had a tendency to do the same thing you would do. And I had to like fight myself, like resist the urge.
Okay,
All right,
resist
pick
the
this up, and I want you to pick up with our heading perfectly straight before we do a pedal turn.
Okay.
There you go. Now we can turn pedal into the wind.
Turn pedal
Good.
into the wind.
Good. All right, let's get away from these little bumps into a nice flat spot. Okay. Looks good. All right, we're into the wind.
Yep.
All right, just feel along with me this time. And notice how I start to push the pedal almost before I'm rolling the throttle off, so that way I make sure that I have enough pedal in so we keep our heading straight.
Okay.
All right. And feel how slowly I roll the throttle off.
Yeah.
Hover auto rotation. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, yeah.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
Really, really, really slow.
Yeah, really, really slow.
And the helicopter just settles down nice and gently. All right, you want to try one more before you go back?
Okay, I want one more.
Okay. Roll the throttle off as slow as you possibly can this time.
Yeah.
And even then, we still had a little bit of a yaw, right? So I was a little bit late on the pedal.
Okay.
Okay, pick it up.
And into the wind.
Into the wind. Landing spot looks good.
Looks good.
Hover height looks good. All right, as
Okay.
slowly as you possibly can.
Power auto in 3, 2, 1.
You know what happened that time?
What was the
So-
problem?
When we roll the throttle off, we're rolling it all the way into the detent spring. You let it come out of the detent spring and the throttle came back on for a second. That's why we came down, we looked good, and then we came back up a second.
Oh.
Because you let the throttle come back on just a little bit.
Oh, yeah, so because it is...
That's why we're doing the underhand grip, is because we want to roll the throttle all the way off into the detent spring. And you let that spring come back on a second.
Oh.
And that's why we pop back up again.
So I have to hold the throttle as a...
You gotta
as
hold it
strong
closed
as
the
I
whole
can.
time, yep. Hold
Okay.
it closed, hold it closed, hold it closed, wait, and then pull right before you touch down.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Alright, well, we're getting a little low on fuel, so we'll do this again. We'll do it like every flight. We'll do more hover auto rotation. So
Can I do one more?
we can do one more.
Okay.
Okay.
I think...
And less cyclic movement. Keep the cyclic pretty still. You roll it back on, and then you lurch cyclic to the right, and we started to fly back to the right. So we want to be really careful of that.
Okay.
Make sure we get that throttle all the way into detent. Nice and slow. Roll it off. It was looking really good. And then at the last second, you let throttle come back on. And then when you pulled the collective, the correlator wanted to throttle back up again. So we have to keep that throttle in the detent.
Okay.
All right, let's just back up a little bit. Okay, right here is good. All right, into a nice 2 to 3 foot hover. All right, and all the way into detent, nice and slow. Roll it as slow as you can, all the way in detent.
Okay.
Pause and then pull. All right, ready when you are.
Okay. Okay. Hover auto in 3, 2, 1.
Better, just needed more right pedal. But that was much better.
Yeah.
Good job rolling it nice and slow. Good job getting it all the way into detent. Your pause was really good. We just needed more right pedal so we could keep our heading.
Okay.
That was much better though. See how you felt it go all the way into the spring, and we didn't have like this crazy where it was yawing back and forth sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
That was much better, much less scary that way. All
Okay.
right, cool. You can pick us up.
Okay, I can pick it up.
And we'll just taxi over to the runway.
To the runway.
Yep, we'll go to the runway this time.
Okay.
Keep our heading nice and straight as you pick up.
Yep.
Nice, perfect pickup.
Nice.
Good, good. All right, and now let's hover up and over the road. So we'll need to increase our hover height to get up and over the road. We'll pull max takeoff power. Just to get up and over this road. Good. Nobody's coming.
Yeah, no traffic inside.
Haven't heard anyone on the radio. No traffic. No one's taxiing.
Yep.
We look good. Hovering over to the runway. Alright, now get us lined up over the center line.
Yep.
Easy.
Yep.
Don't let the helicopter control you. I want
Okay.
you to work on getting there and then pedal turn. Always keep the heading in the direction we're going.
Uh-huh.
Alright, and take off when you're ready. That crosswind kind of bucked us around a little bit.
Yeah. The first one was the messed up.
The last one?
Messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, so hover autos are really tricky. I think it's one of the hardest maneuvers there is.
Uh-huh.
Definitely took me the longest, and I'm still not perfect at them. You notice my heading still changes a little bit generally.
Yeah.
It's just a really hard maneuver. Alright, let's depart this way.
But this way.
Yep, so that way we have a little bit more to climb up before we fly over the houses.
There's a bird.
Yep. Oceanside traffic, helicopter 810 left downwind will be departing back to the south, Oceanside. Alright, let's listen to the ADA.
115, altimeter 2973. RNAV runway 24 approach in use. Hazardous weather information available. Flight service frequency. Voluntary noise abatement procedure in effect. Coast Rimmen, ILS out of service. Initial contact. Advisory information. Whiskey.
Whiskey now. Yeah, I just put in a little right pressure so we flew away from those birds.
Airport information. Whiskey time 1654 Zulu weather. Wind 150 at 5. Visibility 10. Ceiling 1800. Overcast. Temperature 19. Dew point 15. Altimeter 2973. RNAV runway 24 approach in use. Hazardous weather information available. Flight service frequency. Voluntary noise abatement procedure in effect. Coast Rimmen, ILS out of service. Initial contact. Advisory information. Whiskey.
Alright.
Yep. Whiskey.
Alright, so start flying back towards the airport. You can make your radio call anytime now. We're about 7 miles to the north right now.
Uh-huh.
So you just say we're 7 miles north, requesting a Civic North arrival with information with you.
Okay. How do you know when we get to the 7 miles from the Colorado airport?
That's just right about here.
Right about here?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna say 7 miles north.
Helicopter 74810, 7 miles north.
Broadcast 7 north arrival. We have information.
7 Golf Yankee, runway 24, cleared for takeoff. For takeoff, runway 24, 7 Golf Yankee.
Paul Tower, helicopter 810, 7 miles north. Broadcast 7 north arrival. We have information. Whiskey.
310 Palmer Tower, approved. Caution, helipad not site, cleared to land.
Is it clear to land?
Yep, said we're approved, clear to land.
Said approved, clear to land, 810.
Good. Well, I kind of fly towards this water tank over here.
Water tank.
Yep, you see where the airport is?
Palomar Tower, crew check 208. We're going to cancel IFR and go north to Palmsville.
You see the airport? It's over here.
208, roger.
Directly ahead of us.
BFR.
Oh yeah.
So we kind of want to come over here towards this water tank, and then we'll fly to the south.
Is that gray one is the water tank?
That big thing, yeah, that big like circular thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
And we can hold 1,000 feet, 1,000, you just hold 1,100, that's perfect. And 70 knots is good. It's cold up here.
Yeah, it's too cold.
It felt fine at Oceanside, but up here I'm cold.
Yankee, contact SoCal departure. SoCal departure, 7 Golf Yankee, good day.
Try not to let us descend too much before we fly over these houses. So let's come aft a little bit and let's just get back up to 1,100.
Okay.
And 1100 because that gives us a good cloud clearance from the ceiling, and it gives us enough height over these buildings. So our cloud ceiling's at about, I think it's at 1800 still. So at 1100 that gives us 700 feet. The minimum, the rule, do you know what the
frequency change?
do you know what the weather minimum is in Delta airspace?
Yep.
What is it? How far below the clouds do we need to be?
30 miles and 500 below, 1,000 above, and 2,000.
Yep, so if the cloud ceiling is at a little bit more collective, a little fast, there you go. Okay. So if the ceiling's at 1800, what's the highest we're allowed to fly?
It is 1,300.
Yep, exactly. So if we fly at 1100, that gives us 200-foot buffer, just to be careful, to be safe. Good. Okay, and now you see the airport. We'll fly right towards the control tower. You see the control tower?
Yeah, I see it.
Cool. Fly right towards the control tower, and then we can stay at 1100. Once we start crossing the runway, we'll descend to 1,000.
Okay.
And then once we're on the other side of the runway, we'll start descending for the traffic pattern at Civic of 700 feet.
Okay. Wow, it's too cold. Wow.
I know, it is too cold.
It's crazy.
We should have put the doors on.
But I'm okay with that. I can feel the wind.
Feel the wind on your face.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Okay, 3 Mike Lima, contact SoCal departure, good day.
3 Mike Lima going to departure, good day.
Tower Tower 39 November, westbound request, left traffic back to Civic parking.
39 November.
Taxiway Alpha, clear for takeoff, and make left traffic. Company is a mile north inbound, another helicopter.
Roger, left traffic, looking for company traffic, 39 November.
Copter 810, traffic off of the west.